We've gone over solving one-step equations through substitution, through adding and subtracting using those inverse operations, and now we're going to go over solving one-step equations using multiplication and division. So remember, the goal of solving equations is to find the value of the variable, or to get the variable by itself. So to do this, we have to isolate the variable, which means to get it by itself, using inverse operations. If you remember from addition and subtraction notes, inverse operations are operations that undo one another. For example, inverse operations for adding 23 to undo adding 23, we would subtract 23. To undo subtracting 18, we would add 18. To undo multiplying by negative 15, we would divide by negative 15. And to undo dividing by 8, we would multiply by 8. So in our first example here, we have to solve 8x equals 56. When I see 8x, I know that this coefficient here, 8, is the number that I multiply by x. So there's not any symbol here for multiplication. It's just understood that when you have a coefficient in front of a variable, that means times. So this means that we are multiplying. In order to undo this multiplication and to get the x by itself, I've got to divide by 8. So I'm going to take 8x, divide by 8. And whatever I do to this side of the equation, I have to do to the other side. So I'm going to divide by 8 here. 8 divided by 8 is 1x, or just x. We write it as just a single x. 56 divided by 8 is 7. In order to check my work, I have to rewrite the original equation and plug in the answer that I got for x. So 8x, 8 times x equals 56. Well, does 8 times 7 equal 56? And if I put that in my calculator, or I just know my facts, I know that it does. And that way I can check my work and know that my answer is correct. Okay, on this side, on our next example, our variable is here. We have a divided by 5 equals 12. What am I doing to that variable? I'm dividing. So division can look like a fraction. It can look like a over 5 or a divided by 5. In order to undo this dividing by 5, I have to multiply by 5. And if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side of the equation. So dividing by 5 and multiplying by 5 cancel each other out. I'm left with a. 12 times 5 is 60. Okay, now to check my work. A divided by 5 is 12. I rewrote the exact equation. Plug in the answer I got for a, 60 divided by 5. If I do 60 divided by 5, will I get 12? Yes, so I know that my answer is